Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
What up? In this special episode, we'll be making breakfast, dinner, and dessert. Why skip lunch? I have no clue. Let's start with pancakes. Waffles. I don't know.
Great, so these pancakes shouldn't really be called pancakes since we will not be cooking them in a pan, I guess. They're like waffles because they're made using a waffle iron. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start off with the dough. First, grab a big bowl and in it, add 2 large eggs, using 1 hand for each egg, of course.
Double kill!
Now beat the living hell out of them. Now, while beating, add 2 tablespoons of sugar and continue beating the eggs. Don't forget to take a break in the middle of the beating, of course, because beating eggs is really tiring. That was a lot of beating in these past 10 seconds. Jeez. Okay, now, once everything is frothy and there is foam on top, we can add 200 grams of cottage cheese. Now, trust me on this one. It will be very tasty and also I said gains because protein. Now, pour in a cup of room temperature milk. Mix everything a bit, breaking up the curds of cheese, and to the mixture, add in 200 grams of all-purpose flour. Now, again, mix everything with a spoon for some reason this time. And don't forget to add in a teaspoon of baking powder before mixing, of course. Like I did. I didn't forget it, definitely. Then also add half a teaspoon of salt. That I also didn't forget. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract if you're feeling fancy schmancy. That I completely didn't forget. Now continue to mix everything slowly until it resembles, well, pancake batter. Now get your pancake/waffle maker ready. Well, I guess in some places it's a waffle maker, I don't really know. But it's this thing with a heart-shaped waffle pancake shape inside, so do that, okay? Now I rubbed some oil for the first time baking so the dough doesn't stick. Now, editor Andrew here. So I was actually going to add 80 grams of melted butter to the batter, but as you can see in this footage, I put it in a microwave to melt and I completely forgot it. So you should do that, and then you don't have to grease your waffle maker. So yeah, sorry for that. Back to the video. And then just continue with all the rest of the dough. Now look at this pile of heart-shaped pancakes. Sexy, beautiful, perfect for Valentine's Day. All it needs is a little bit of strawberry jam. Oh yeah, sexy. Okay, let's taste it real quick. Fucking great. All it needs is some milk. OMG. Perfect. So first, to start off, we will need to make the sauce. Start off by dicing 1 big carrot. Then get yourself an onion and dice it also. Now get 2 big or 3 medium-sized cloves of garlic. Dice them thinly or use a garlic crusher. I diced them this time just because I wanted to. I'm a grown man, I do what I want. Good, that's out of the way. Now get your meats. 500 grams of ground beef and 500 grams of ground pork. We will not be butchering and grinding the meat ourselves this time, even though we definitely do it all the time when cooking on this show. Are they still watching? Now, let's go to the stovetop. Get yourself a big sauce pot, put it on low-medium heat, then when the pan is hot, add in a gulp of butter, about a tablespoon's worth. Into the butter, throw in your diced onion. Once the onion is translucent and soft, the pot is ready for the carrots. Throw those bad boys in there, let them soften up a bit, and then throw in your meats. Now brown those suckers. This is gonna take some time. Poke, flip, mix, and repeat until there's barely any liquid left. Also, there should be a brown font on the bottom of the pan. That's where all the flavor is hiding. And then put in the garlic. Don't let it overcook, just simmer a bit until fragrant. Now is the time for the tomatoes. Add in your San Marzano, or in my case, homegrown tomatoes, peeled and blended with a blender or a mixer, of course. Then don't forget to salt and pepper to taste. Add a few pinches of dried basil, or if you have fresh basil, use a couple of stems of those. Then add some dried oregano and, of course, if you have, a brine of Parmesan. Mwah! Beautiful. Now let that simmer on low heat with lid partially closed for about 1 to 2 hours.
Now watch the sauce of bubbling rain.
Once the sauce is thick, it's time to prep our other ingredients. Now, this is what we will need. Our red sauce, of course, lasagna noodles. Boil them according to the manufacturer. And of course, our bechamel. Okay, now, I forgot to film the making of the bechamel, so here we go to the reenactment.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
To start off, get yourself a small sauce pot. Into the pot, add in 1 tablespoon of butter. Once liquefied, add in 1 tablespoon of flour. Mix it all together with a whisk until the raw flour smell goes away, or for about a minute or so. Don't let it brown. Then drizzle in a cup of milk, couple tablespoons at a time. Pour in and mix. It should become like thick mashed potatoes at first. Then add in more milk and continue mixing until the whole milk is used. If you want, you can add in any cheese that you want, a fistful, but before you do that, remove the bechamel from the heat. In the end, it should look something like this. Good. Now for the rest of the ingredients. Of course, we will need some shredded dry mozzarella and some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Okay, now it's time to assemble. Since, again, I'm an idiot, I already started assembling my lasagna and forgot to film it. But basically, you always start off with the bottom layer of your sauce. Then you should put your noodles. On the noodles, add in sauce. Onto the sauce, add in your bechamel. Now on top of that, add in your grated mozzarella. And now all that's left to do is repeat. Now the last layer will be a little bit different. On top of the mozzarella, we will add our Parmesan cheese. Grate a bunch of it. Also, the whole order can be whatever you like. The only thing that I would say shouldn't change is the most bottom layer should be sauce. And on the very top, you should grate some Parmesan. That's it. Also, you could put ricotta cheese instead of bechamel or with bechamel. It's up to you and what you like here. Good. Now to bake it, we will put our lasagna into the oven, preheat it to 190 degrees Celsius for about 45 minutes, uncovered. And that's it. You have your lasagna. Now, a quick tip, if you have any amount of your meat sauce left, you can always use it straight up with spaghetti noodles for a quick spaghetti bolognese. Cheesecake. Cheese and cake. In my opinion, 2 of the best foods on the planet. Okay, so the thing about this cheesecake is that it's super smooth, airy, and of course super tasty. I just can't. It's that good. Okay, let's begin with the crust first. To start off, we will need 160 grams of graham crackers finely crushed. To do that, get your crackers in a Ziploc bag or in some other bag, for example this cloth bag that I had, and beat the living hell out of them. I mean, try not to destroy the bag itself, but beat those crackers. All that should be left is mostly graham
cracker dust.
Now transfer your crushed graham crackers to a medium bowl. To that bowl, add in your crackers, 30 grams of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of salt and some nutmeg, which is optional of course, but highly suggested. Now mix it all together and stream in around 56 grams of melted and home temperature cooled unsalted butter. While pouring in the butter, get a fork and mix. Once the whole butter is in, I like to use my bare hands for the mixing. Then when the mixture is soaked in butter, get a 9-inch springform pan and grease it generously with canola oil or a non-stick spray. Pour in your buttery cracker mixture and using a cup or any other dish that has a flat bottom, spread it out evenly and tightly on the bottom like so. Now place your crust in a preheated 175 degrees Celsius oven for about 8 to 9 minutes. Then remove it and let it cool until it's cooled completely. Now we can make our beautiful cream cheese filling. Get a big bowl and in that bowl add in 900 grams of softened cream cheese. Mix by hand to break it in a little bit. Then get your eggs ready in another bowl. 4 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk to be precise. Then keep mixing your cream cheese by hand, and when you feel that it's softened enough, it's ready for the mixer. I used a regular stick mixer because I don't have the beautiful KitchenAid 300 watt artisan stand mixer. I'm not sponsored by KitchenAid. You can also keep mixing it by hand, but it's much easier using the mixer. Anyways, while mixing your cream cheese, add in around 190 grams of granulated white sugar. Mix it well and then start adding in your eggs with 1 egg yolk. 1 at a time, of course, until it's fully incorporated. Once you've done that, mix in 60 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, 50 grams of creme fraiche or sour cream, 7 grams of vanilla extract or around same amount of vanilla vanilla sugar, 20 grams of cornstarch, and a pinch of salt. Mix until it's smooth like a baby's butt.
Life is smooth. It's on you if you want it to be smooth. Some people want to live life rough and crazy. Live smooth.
And we're ready to bake this jiggly cloud of goodness. First, get yourself some aluminium foil and cover your pan's bottom with a few layers until about halfway like so. Try not to leave any spots where water could come up to. Then pour in your beautiful cheesecake filling inside the pan. Shake it a tiny bit for it to fall into place. Now get your sheet pan and place the cheesecake in it. Then boil a bunch of water and cover the springform pan until about halfway. Now while the water is still hot, place the whole thing into a preheated 160 degrees Celsius oven for about 1.5 hours on the bottom rack of your oven until it's still a little bit jiggly and brown. As you can see, I placed it in the middle rack because I'm a total idiot. Also be very careful while moving the sheet pan. It's really unstable, just like me and my mental health. Now, once the cake is done, this is the important part. Open the oven door and let it cool in the oven for about 45 minutes. That way you don't get any cracks. Method, folks. It's all about the method. Great! After that, let the cake cool on a wire rack with tin foil removed until it's room temp. Then cover it with plastic wrap and set it in the fridge to cool overnight. The cake should be good for a week or a bit more. And now, your cake is done. Remove it from the fridge, open the springform pan, and slice this magnificent cake of cheese. I might or might have not already eaten 1/3 of the cake here, but that's irrelevant. Slice the cake and serve plain, or for best results, with a teaspoon of strawberry jam. Yum! Life could not be better. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I would really love if you could comment on the video what you liked or disliked about it. It would mean the world. Also, if you found it helpful or you want more videos like this, please smash the like button and consider subscribing. Peace!